Hi everyone, Matthew with Dr. G in Technology, and today we're going to be discussing AWS Cloud Computing for Beginners. So I thought this video would be perfect for those who are kind of trying to figure out if it's AWS that you should be going for. Maybe you're thinking about Cisco or Microsoft, Azure, and you're just not really sure kind of what to pick. Or maybe you have decided upon AWS and you want to just learn a little bit more without spending any more money. I thought this would be a perfect video before deep diving into any other content regarding certifications with AWS. So I think this will be perfect for those of you kind of just stepping into the beginner's realm. So we're going to go over the 4 things today regarding AWS Cloud Computing for Beginners. So the purpose number 1 is to learn the fundamentals of AWS Cloud and what is Amazon Web Services Cloud, right? Secondly, you'll go over what I think is one of the most valuable things Amazon does, and that is they teach you about their pricing and how to create a solution set for AWS. So if you had a customer and depending upon what they were looking for, you can learn how to piece together all the components of AWS and to come up with a solution. So we'll be looking at pricing and support modules along with core AWS service. So more than anything, you're going to be looking at resources here, not so much learning how to do it in this video, but just kind of where to go and just these concepts for the first time, right? So this is for beginners. Thirdly, we're going to look at experience in terms of lab. So get your hands dirty. So if you've never touched AWS, here's your shot to kind of understand AWS. Not just from a theoretical perspective, but I'll be showing you some resources, and you're going to see some of the same ones over and again, but this will help beat it in regarding where you can go, again, for little to no cost at all. And then lastly, kind of what it takes to get certified as a cloud practitioner, such as the certification which I went after not too long ago. So before we get too deep, certainly click right down below on the subscribe button and the bell button. That way you're alerted to any new content we have to provide for you, because that's our goal here. That's our mission with Dr. G in Technology, is to really help you get in the industry, and if you're in the industry, help you get paid more than what perhaps you're getting now, because I believe you all have really valuable skills and technology that we need out there in the industry. So I'm going to be jumping around, and we will you'll see my screen moving between different tabs, but I think that'll help keep it interactive. So here we go. All right, so here we are on my screen. So right away, go to your search engine and type in AWS Ramp Up Guide. This is what you want to start with right here. Go ahead and hit enter, and you'll get some search results. My particular one comes right below all the advertising. First one right here. This is the one you want right here. AWS Ramp Up Guide Cloud Essentials. So click that guy, and what's going to happen is, I'm going to close this now, is it's going to launch a PDF, right? So you should now see this on my screen. It says right there, AWS Ramp Up Guide Cloud Essentials. So again, the whole purpose of this video is to kind of introduce you as a beginner to the cloud, AWS specifically, with the end goal of at some point perhaps becoming cloud certified, such as going after the cloud practitioner. So this right here carries the 4 areas that I discussed at the beginning of the video regarding the purpose of this video. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and look at this guide here, because this is where we're going to be centralized spending our time with. This is only about 3 pages, and so let me zoom this in a little bit. Hopefully that helps. And let's look at this PDF. So first up, step 1, learning the AWS fundamentals cloud, right? What is cloud? What is AWS? Just overview of AWS. If you click any of these videos, some of these will go pretty much to one web page. Some of them may go to another. Just kind of depends on the actual link itself. But for the most part, these are relatively free. One other website that I do want you to look at, because what's going to happen is some of these are going to launch to a different website that you're going to see over and again in some of these videos, is explore.skillbuilder.aws. And we'll go there in a second. But just know that right at the top, this is another link to click on. And I would just right click here and open it in another tab, right, like I have. But kind of back to this first area here, the purpose of the video, learning fundamentals. I mean, you'll even kind of get launched to a white paper which is, believe it or not, something that AWS wants you to look at. I remember studying for my cloud practitioner exam. They had white papers towards the end of training and kind of sprinkled throughout the training that they wanted you to review. So training with AWS is more than just kind of memorize, regurgitate for certification. It requires you to go through several different types of learning, such as videos, web pages, white papers such as this one. And the duration here, tells you how long you can expect to spend, just depending on how long you go or how much time you spend. So this particular one, the white paper, launches an overview, right? Another PDF, and this is 85 pages. So this one says it'll take you about 6 hours, maybe more, maybe less, just kind of depends. But that's kind of a great starter right there to just learn the basics and fundamentals of what AWS is without spending a dime, right? The second part, or second step, if you will, is pricing and support. I think this is probably the strongest differentiator that Amazon does compared to its competitors. I've been through lots of technical training, and I've pursued many certifications, different industry certifications throughout the 25 years or so I've been doing technology. And this is one that is very different in that they actually teach you how to price together a solution set for AWS Cloud. So you're not just learning the theory, you're not just doing some labs, hands-on stuff, you're actually kind of coming up with scenarios and what it would cost the end customer to adopt an AWS solution. And so I think this particular module is the most invaluable module, not just for AWS, but in your career, so you can learn how to put this into practice, right? So I really like this one, and this particular one here, how AWS pricing works, I think is probably the most invaluable subset or submodule, if you will. This one says it's about 3.5 hours. Once again, a white paper, right? So just kind of proves that in this particular module you have different kinds of links to go to. Some are going to go to, for example, I'll click on the Practitioner Essentials. I'll launch that. It's going to launch a page, usually with another video on it, right? This one kind of has a couple different areas you can go to regarding find a class. This other one, however, if you come to the first one, digital training 6+ hours, it actually will launch that other tab that I told you about earlier, which is AWS Skill Builder, right? And here is where you can really start practicing your skills in terms of learning how to maneuver around AWS, and most of these are free, as you can see all across, right? So kind of coming back here, this second area of AWS training you can do mostly for free, and I think this is again one of the most valuable modules that AWS provides. And if you ever go for a certification and you go for practical training, actual training, as opposed to just kind of being introduced, you will see this again in terms of fundamentals with pricing. And this is a pretty long module, right? The third one is labs, right? So pretty much all of these, you're going to launch the explore.skillbuilder.aws, right? And so here's where you can get your hands dirty, so to speak. So if you have no experience with labs, cloud, AWS, none of the three, here's a chance to get your hands kind of dirty, right? So what's going to happen is, let's just say we go to Introduction to AWS Architecture. I'll launch it here. It's going to ask you pretty much to sign up and sign in, and that's fine. It's something you want to do, right? And enroll in this free module. I really like it because it tells you about the course, what materials, if any, you're going to need, and then any other information necessary, right? So that's essentially what you're going to be looking at when you launch these modules. And again, they're free, and it tells you about how long each of them are, right? Some are minutes, some are hours, just depends. If you come down to some of these other labs, these are more subscription based, right? So these ones will cost you. So this is all of these are very much core pieces that you would see in the exam. Lambda, CloudFront, CloudQuest, S3. I mean, you got to know those for sure. So it's worth every penny to just kind of, tiptoe into some of these areas at $29 a month. If you think about your Prime membership, this will be different because it's actual training. Whatever maybe you're spending for your Prime membership probably is more than this, right? So I think it's worth every penny to just kind of, again, just tiptoe your way into learning AWS, right? So let's come back to our ramp up guide. And so that's mostly what you're going to see with the lab environment. And in some cases, host a static website or store and retriever file. Those are pretty small modules. And when you click on them, you're going to go to something more like this, perhaps another video or just another small introduction about what it is, right? So I think it's really important because you get to learn a lot about how to maneuver around AWS with some of these short training modules, and I really like them. They're great. And so that's the lab environment. That's when you get your hands dirty. And then lastly, the getting certified, right? So this one is the smallest of the four, but it's small because it's really meant to give you a taste test into, all right, you now learned a little bit about AWS and cloud, and through some free tutorials, maybe you paid for a few labs if you wanted to go that far, and maybe now you want to take it a little further. So they'll give you some sample questions, exam guide, and to get to know a little bit more about the exam itself. So we'll kind of launch that right there, and I think it's really vital. So if you're truly ready and you think you are, you can schedule the exam, but if you're not, no worries, right? Maybe you want to find an Amazon partner who provides actual training. But you'll see other additional resources here beyond the Cloud Practitioner Certification exam if you want. So this whole video is not necessarily meant to lean you towards any one certification, but if you were to go for one, Cloud Practitioner is where I would tell you to start, and it's where Amazon would tell you to start too. So hopefully this is proved to be helpful to you, because I think you'll find some really good skills in learning AWS with those links in the ramp up guide and the explore site, and it should be invaluable to you in your career over time. So again, before we get too deep with any other content or any other videos, certainly again click down below to subscribe, and of course click above in the header of our channel here where you can download some freebies and help you stay connected with me, and we can stay connected with one another. And you can join our LinkedIn IT Village page, which is where I'm recommending all of our viewers go, so that you can come into our LinkedIn community called the IT Village and be a part of our community as an IT professional. So thanks, and we'll see you in the next one. As a reminder, click the subscribe button and the bell button so you're alerted to all of our new videos to help you along your IT journey. Click the Get Paid in IT link so that you can join for free a webinar that helps you create multiple streams of income while working in IT. Download the Next 100 Days guide to help you with your learning curve if you're brand new in IT or if you're experienced, to help you get that raise or promotion. Download How Much Can I Make in IT to help you understand what the proper salary range is for your specific portion of IT, and join our community where you can get questions answered and or even become a mentor in the community. We'll see you there.